So, if you're a Jewish leader, you know the struggle, right? You're trying to connect with parents, but it feels like you're fighting this unwinnable war against information overload. So, how do you actually win? Well, according to marketer Rochie Popack, you don't. You stop fighting. You get really, really clear. Because the hard truth is, when we try to say everything, parents, they end up hearing absolutely nothing. Popack shares this incredible piece of advice from a mentor, and honestly, it's the key to this whole thing. It goes, never walk into a meeting with an agenda of 3. Why? Because if you focus on just one, you might actually achieve it. Now think about that. Swap out the word meeting for, I don't know, school tour or fundraising email or Instagram post. See? The principle is exactly the same. In a world with a million distractions, having a single focused goal, well, it isn't just a good idea. It's pretty much the only strategy that works. Okay, so let's see what happens when this rule gets, completely ignored. We're going to look at a classic example that Pop-Up brings up. The well-intentioned, but let's be honest, totally ineffective preschool social media reel. Okay, so picture this. The photos are just beautiful, right? Genuinely heartwarming stuff. You've got one kid gently diapering a doll. Another is stirring a pot of pretend soup. You see some kids wearing plaid seat, and then another one is comforting a friend who looks a little sad. I mean, it's the kind of content that just makes you go, "Aw," you know? It feels so rich, so full of meaning. And here's the trap. Because every single one of those moments felt so meaningful, the school tried to explain all of it. So the caption for the doll, that was about empathy. The soup was about fine motor skills. The titchet, well, that's about connection to tradition. And the comforting friend, emotional processing. Just look at this list. Every single photo became its own separate ad, its own little storyline.
And this is the really crucial point Popack makes. When you throw 6 different messages at a parent in like 15 seconds, you haven't given them anything at all. Their brain just can't sort, prioritize, and absorb that fast. So what does it do? It does the only thing it can do. It just tunes out. All that effort to show off everything valuable ended up with the parent experiencing and remembering absolutely none of it.
This isn't just a social media mistake. It's a much bigger systemic issue in how our organizations communicate. It's this deep-seated belief that more is more. So let's move on to another classic example that, well, it's probably going to feel a little too real for some of you. The open house gift bag. Ah, the gift bag. You know the one. We put these things together with the best of intentions, right? We think we're showing how much value and generosity we have. We stuff it with the school calendar, a branded magnet, a flyer for that upcoming event, a bookmark, a coloring book. I mean, the list just goes on and on. From our side of the table, it looks like this amazing treasure trove of information. But from the parent side, yeah, it's a whole different story. Because this is what's going through a parent's head when they get home and dump all that stuff on their kitchen counter. It's not gratitude, it's a chore. They're tired. And now they have to do what Popa calls mental labor. They have to sort through everything, decide what's trash, what's just clutter, and what might actually be important. And in that exact moment of overwhelm, what's the easiest thing to do? Just toss it all, including the one thing you desperately needed them to see. And this idea just perfectly illustrates the disconnect we see on a school tour. As leaders, we feel like we have to list every single feature we offer. Our strong academics, our warm community, our awesome STEM lab, our mid-op program. But here's the tough truth, okay? Every other school is saying the exact same thing. That long list, it's not your differentiator. It's just noise. A family isn't going to remember a list of 10 things. What they will remember is the one powerful feeling or the one single truth that you intentionally designed the entire tour to make them feel. Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem, right? Our desire to show how valuable we are is actually watering down our message. The solution, thankfully, is incredibly simple in concept. Now, it does require some real discipline to pull off, but it's basically a strategic filter for everything you communicate. Popack calls it the one-question rule, and it's really simple. Before you create any piece of communication, a speech, a tour, a gift bag, whatever, you have to decide on the single guiding question it's designed to answer. This isn't just about cutting things out. It's about choosing the frame. Because here's the thing. If you don't choose the frame for your audience, trust me, they'll choose one for you, and you're probably not going to like it. So let's actually apply this. Let's take the gift bag. The old way of thinking was, what can we add to this bag to show how great we are? The new question is, what's the one single message we want parents to notice and actually keep? all of a sudden every item in that bag is on trial. Does a generic magnet serve that one message? Or would one single, high-quality, beautifully designed item that tells our core story be infinitely more powerful? Yeah, I think you know the answer. What about the school tour? Instead of just working off a checklist of things to show, you start with the question, what is the one core value parents absolutely must feel by the time they leave? So let's say your answer is empowerment. Okay, now every story you tell, every teacher you introduce, every piece of student work you highlight has to serve as evidence for that one feeling. Everything else, it's just a distraction. And this is a total game changer for fundraising. Donors get hit with these laundry lists of impacts all the time. The one question rule forces you to ask something different. What is the one transformation I want them to invest in? So, are they investing in a new building? Or are they investing in creating the next generation of confident Jewish leaders? One of those is a project. The other is a vision. I mean, which one do you think is more compelling?
Okay, so the most important takeaway here is that this isn't just some nice marketing theory. It's a practical, disciplined approach that you can, and really, you should, start using right now. It'll make every single thing you communicate more intentional and way more effective.
Look, we all know that Jewish life and our organizations are incredibly rich and layered. That's our strength. But our messaging can't be. It's kind of this painful paradox, but it's just true. Parents are drowning in information. They're not going to remember everything you throw at them. They'll only remember the single, clear idea that was perfectly framed just for them.
So before your next email, your next event, your next anything, here's your new pre-flight checklist. Step 1, choose the one question this moment absolutely must answer. 2, get really specific. What's the one single feeling, belief, or understanding you want them to walk away with? 3, you gotta be ruthless. Include only what directly supports that one answer. And 4, this is the hardest step, remove everything else. See? Clarity isn't just about saying less. It's about making sure your one core message actually lands. There's this quote from Popack's piece that just says it all perfectly. The message should always be simple enough to hold in one hand and meaningful enough to hold in the heart. Our work is complex, for sure, but the invitation to join us in that work has to be crystal clear. So the next time you're planning anything, just stop and ask yourself, what is the one thing I'm asking this parent to hold in their heart? And if you can't answer that in a single sentence, you're not ready yet.